Hey, I'm Fluid, and welcome to another episode of Flowing with Fluid. Today, we are going to be doing a fun, energetic yoga flow where it's all about the glutes and legs, and it's really kind of a free flow too. You'll have a chance for a little dance break where you can do what you want to do. So in order for you to really follow along, go ahead and click that link in the bio for the Spotify playlist. That way you'll be able to follow along with the songs that I'm listening to so we can turn up together. All right, I'm excited. Remember to consult your doctor before starting any new regimen, any new workout, including this one, and to listen to your body at all times. All right, I think that's enough for the intro, so let's get started. Release. 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 So go ahead and start that playlist. Make sure that the songs do go in order so that we can follow along together. We're going to start in an easy sitting position, Sukhasana. And we're going to start with just breathing, checking in with our body, noticing how we feel today. Striving to do those deep belly breaths, breathing through our diaphragm. And we're going to start to warm up the neck by looking left and looking right. It's as if we're saying no to all negativity and blocking all of the things that we do not want in our lives. And we're going to start to look up and look down. We're going to inhale as we lift our head up and exhale as we drop our chin to our chest. We're saying yes to all positivity, yes to all of the things that we want to bring into our lives. And we're going to move into some neck circles. And we're going to make sure that we do this gentle on our neck. We're just going to make little circles with our nose, and we can start small and then trace bigger circles as we warm up our neck. And go ahead and rotate in the opposite direction. And we're going to move into some shoulder movements, warming up the shoulders. We are lifting the shoulders up and back, relaxing them. We also have the option of putting our hands on our shoulders and bending at the elbows and using our elbows to kind of trace circles back. And we're going to rotate in the opposite direction, bringing our shoulders forward. And now we're going to inhale the arms up wide and also exhale our arms wide. We're opening up that chest and really expanding that chest. We're going to do this a couple more times. And exhale our hands to Namaste. Just take a couple moments to breathe and check in with the body. Inhale the arms up once more, and we're going to allow our right arm to fall down towards the mat, leaning over to that right side. Our left arm is extended up. And we're going to inhale and go to the opposite side, opening up our chest, bringing that arm back. And we have the choice to lift our gaze up towards the sky or have a neutral gaze. It is up to you. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release from that stretch. We're going to come into our tabletop position, beginning our cat-cow. So we're inhaling as we arch the back and lift the head up, and exhaling as we round the back and drop the head down. Really extending when we round our back, pressing through our hands, and really getting all of that breath out, and then breathing in deeply when we arch that back and lift our head up. And we have the option to stay there, or you have the option of just moving your torso. We're going to isolate our torso and move in a circular motion. And go ahead and rotate directions. And now we're going to come into a hip hinging fluid movement. We're making our glutes go in a circle. We're going to swing them forward, swing them around, swing them back to our heels and back around. And remember, whatever range of motion feels good to you, that's what you should do. Go ahead and rotate directions. And now we're going to come into our hip circles, kind of like those fire hydrant workout things. We're just working our joint, lifting, bending at the knee and lifting our leg up and around. We're going to do about 5 circles each side. And rotate directions. Switching over to the opposite side and doing our kicks this way. And rotate directions. Go ahead and release and relax. We're going to straighten out our right leg, and you have the option of lifting your leg up. I pretty much had to lift my leg up because my dog is in the way, but we're just looking side to side. We're bringing our foot to each side, and we're shifting our gaze as well. So we're feeling this movement in our obliques and doing kind of like a little tail wag at the same time. You have the option of keeping your foot on the mat and on the ground and just grazing the ground that way, or lifting it up high. It's completely up to you. And we can release from that and send our knees out wide if that's comfortable for you, and come into our child's pose. And remember, you also have the option for puppy dog if you want to have your glutes in the air. And we're going to come up, pushing up and back into our downward dog. The first downward dog of this practice. So we're going to pedal those feet, really get into this pose. Feeling that stretch on the straight leg and bending the knee to rotate that stretch. And we're going to walk our feet up to our hands. And we're just going to allow our head and chest to hang. We have the option of grabbing opposite elbow and swinging back and forth here. You also have the option of just placing your hands on your thighs or on your shins, whatever feels good to you. And we're going to roll up slowly like a rag doll. When we reach the top, inhale those arms up wide. Exhale, namaste. And just take a second to breathe. Check in with the body. And we're going to step back, allowing our feet to be slightly wider than our shoulders. And we're just going to come into a circular motion. Inhale those arms up and you can grab your wrists. You can just allow your hands to come together, however feels most comfortable. And we're just going to rotate from side to side, doing this fluid circular motion, inhaling as we reach up and then exhaling back the same side that we came and repeating in the opposite direction. Really feeling this stretch in our side. And we're going to release from that stretch. Step back up to the top of our mat. Inhale the arms up wide. You can choose to do a mini back bend here if that feels good. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up into that flat back, feeling that stretch in our glutes and our hamstrings. Exhale back down to the mat. Step back into plank and do our vinyasa. Inhaling up into cobra. Choosing to do a baby cobra or full cobra is up to you. And exhale into the child's pose. Taking the time to breathe here. If you have anything you want to just release, you have any stagnant energy you just want to release, go ahead and do those high breaths. Really just fully extending that breath out and making a loud exhale. And on our next exhale, we're going to move into our downward dog. Lifting the hips up and back, and we're really feeling this stretch here. Seeing if we feel any more open this time than the time before. And we're going to walk our feet up to our hands once more. Really feel that stretch and then forward fold. And we can choose to hang here once more. Inhale back up into our mountain. Exhale our hands to namaste. And just take a moment to breathe and check in with the body. And we're going to step back. Coming into a wide stance, we're going to find our comfortable squat position. So just figure out how high or how low you want to go. And remember, this looks different for everybody. It does sometimes look like my back is extending forward. That is my anatomy. My mom is the same way. So, Make sure that you have a straight back and that your chest is open, shoulders back. And continue to flow into these squats. We're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, squatting in that squat and bringing our elbows to our side body. Continuing to flow here. And by now you should be on the Manifesting song by Lunge. And make this song your own. You can extend the arms out, coming down deep into that squat. You can also choose to add some hip movements in here, have some fun. Whatever feels good for you. Really open up those hips and some hip movements. Working out those glutes. This is your time, so you have fun with it. Manifest what you want to manifest. We're working our legs, so we're grounding. We're really bringing things into fruition when we're working our legs and we're manifesting and thinking about the things we want to bring. And if you have one direction that your hips just really like to go in, try to go in that opposite direction. Don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about any of that. Just have fun. Because I'm bringing all that money in, okay? I was fasting during this time, so just a small disclaimer. I do get a little bit lightheaded during the practice, so I do take time to pause. Feel free to do whatever you want to do in these pauses. I got to get the moolah. A little dance break. Have a little fun with it, do what you want to do. Don't be shy. And we're going to meet at the top of our mat. Inhale those arms up. Exhale into our forward fold. Feel free to make this your own. Inhale up to that flat back. Exhale the hands back down to the mat. Coming into our plank and our vinyasa. Inhale up cobra. And exhale downward dog. Lift that right heel to the ceiling. Bring it through to your hands. Place that back knee down. Coming into our runner stretch. Have a little fun with this here. Make sure you bring your hands to the inside of your thigh when you're doing this. For that runner stretch, really feeling that stretch on the inside of our thighs. My pants are a little tight, so I can't really twerk in this outfit, but it's all good. I'm gonna still try. And we're gonna step that foot back into our downward dog. Lift up that left heel to the sky and swing it through to our hands. Same thing on this side. Have a little fun. we're going to lift that back leg off of the mat and just let it slide forward, coming into our forward fold. Inhaling the arms up wide, reverse swan diving up, and exhaling, doing our wrist circles and some hip movements, whatever you feel like doing as we exhale those hands down. And we're going to come into a high lunge. So we want to have a 90-degree angle in that front leg, lifting our heel off of the mat. This is a high lunge. But we're going to come into our warrior two. Flip those palms up. And we're going to shift at our hips, just hinging at our hips, keeping our legs firmly planted. And we're pressing back and forth, pushing away all the negativity, everything that we don't want. We're just pushing that out of our space and making space for ourselves. And go ahead and flip those palms forward, lean forward and up and back for our reverse warrior. Exhale, swing those hands back down to the mat, step forward into that forward fold, reverse swan dive, inhaling up. Same thing here, feel free to dance a little bit, get those wrist circles in. And we're going to exhale, doing the same thing on the opposite side. Making sure we have that 90-degree angle and that our knee is behind our toes. That heel is off the ground. We're feeling this in our glutes right here. And I am struggling with my balance a little bit. I injured my right foot and it has thrown my balance off completely. Extending out wide, same thing this side. Strive to keep both hands up as well. If you lose your balance, it's okay. You know, that's kind of where I've been lately. I've been losing my balance. So, you know, just find it and get right back into it. And really strive to keep both of those arms up. I'm kind of lagging a little bit. Flip those palms forward, lean forward, up and back for our reverse warrior on this side. Make sure you don't place any pressure on that back leg with that hand. You can also just bring it across your back. And we're going to step forward to the top of our mat. Exhale into that forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Do whatever you want, a mini back bend, whatever feels good. And we're going to exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale up into that flat back. Really feel that stretch in your hamstrings and glutes. Exhale back down to the mat, step back into plank. Slowly lower your body down, keeping the core tight, hugging the elbows to the body. Inhale up into that cobra. And just breathe here for a little bit. Pushing through our hands and through our back. Exhale back down into our downward dog, pushing the glutes up and back. Stepping forward to our forward fold. Inhale up into mountain, and we're going to exhale wide. We're going to do another squat. And so this is like a squat meditation. So find your comfortable squat, and we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Use this as a meditation. Challenge yourself to stay in this squat and just breathe. And we're going to inhale up, exhale wide into that forward fold, straddle. We're going to walk our hands in front of us and do kind of like a cat-cow here. So we're lifting our chest and then exhaling, rounding that back. And we're just going to inhale right back up into standing. And come right back into that squat once you find your balance. Another mini meditation here, just breathing in this squat. And we're going to inhale up. Exhale, namaste hands. Take a moment to breathe here and just thank yourself for the stability that you have, for the strength that you have. Inhale, doing another set of namaste hands. And we can step back into the front of the mat. Again, I am feeling a little lightheaded, so if you want to do anything during this point, feel free. We're going to inhale those arms up, exhale down to our forward fold. Inhale up into flat back, exhale back into that plank, doing our vinyasa once more. Inhaling up into cobra. Exhale into that downward dog. We're going to float that right heel to the ceiling, bring it through to our hands, step forward, back into that forward fold, inhaling the arms up, hitting a mini back bend if you want to. Exhaling our hands to our heart center, namaste. And just breathe. And we want to make sure that our feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to come into a chair flow. We're going to exhale those glutes back as if we're sitting in a chair. And we have the option of keeping our hands at heart center or extending them out wide. And we're going to come into a flow. So we're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, right back into chair. So that is our flow. Feel free to do this flow at the pace of your own breath. If we find that we have a little bit of trouble with bending forward or our chest being closed off, bringing our hands up can help us to open up that chest. And we're going to do one more round. And to close out, we're going to end in that squat position. So we're going to end in our chair. And we have the option here to take a balancing posture, just coming onto our toes. So we're lifting those heels up while we're in that squat. Feel free to stay there. I just need to take a second for myself, but feel free to stay in that balancing posture. As I said, I did injure my foot and I am fasting, so I have to listen to my body and take these pauses. But you do what you feel. So if you can do more, stay there. And we're going to release from that balancing posture. Inhale the arms up into mountain. Exhale, swan diving forward, keeping that back straight until we reach the bottom, releasing in that forward fold. Inhaling up into flat back, really feeling that stretch. Exhale our hands back down to the mat. Step back to the plank. You know the drill. Slowly, this is our last vinyasa, so we want to keep our core tight and slowly drop down to the mat, strengthening our arms and our back and our core, all of that. And go ahead and inhale up into that cobra. And this time, we're going to exhale into our child's pose. Breathe here. Congratulate yourself for the work that you just put in. Thank yourself. Express gratitude for the love you just gave yourself. Inhale up into our tabletop position. And we're going to just do another round of cat-cow because, cat-cow feels amazing. So why not? Inhaling as we arch the back and lift the head up. And exhaling as we round the back and drop the head down. And we're going to stay in this tabletop position, come into a neutral spine, and we're just going to wiggle our toes and look back at it. So when you move your glutes to the left side, you want to lift your gaze to the left side. And we're just wiggling our booties in the air and looking back at it. And from here, we're going to come into our pigeon. So go ahead and lift the heels up and back for our downward dog. Float that right heel to the ceiling. And we're going to bring our knee to our right hand and our foot towards our left hand. Coming into that pigeon, feel free to wobble in this a little bit just to find your comfortable position. You should feel that stretch on the bottom of your glutes. And your knee should be comfortable. And you can stay up, or you can go ahead and drop your elbows to the mat and allow your head to fall towards the mat as well. Taking a few more breaths here. And we're going to exhale, coming back up into that tabletop. Extending the glutes up and back for downward dog. Same thing, opposite side. And remember that you can also just go from the knees instead of going all the way up into downward dog if that is what's most comfortable for you. Same thing, opposite side. And we can release from that stretch. And we're just going to come into a sitting position with our legs straight in front of us. We're going to come into a little flow to warm up the bodies again before we go into our final relaxation. And we're just going to extend the arms up. And we're going to bring them down towards our toes. Now go however far is most comfortable for you. So if you come down to your knees, your thighs, your shins, or your feet and toes, that is completely up to you. We're going to do a couple breaths here, exhaling down and inhaling the arms back up. And then we're going to come into a hold. So however far down you can go, whatever is most comfortable, you're going to just hold there for a little bit. Really feeling that release in our back. And we're going to exhale, bend at the knees. Use our hands on the back of our thighs to slowly allow our backs to fall down to the mat, keeping our core tight here, allowing each vertebrae to touch at a time. And we're going to come into a bridge flow. So find a comfortable position with your feet. Have your feet about hip distance apart and about 6 inches from your glutes. We're going to come into a bridge flow. So we're going to exhale those hips up towards the ceiling and inhale our hips back down to the mat. Continuing to do this at the pace of our own breath. And on this next exhale up, we're going to keep our glutes up. We're going to keep our hips up towards the sky, and we're going to bring our hands to the small of our back, right above our glutes. And we're just going to let our hands sit here as a pedestal and just feel how easy it is to breathe through our diaphragm in this posture. And just notice the difference in how it feels to breathe. And you can exhale, releasing from that stretch. And we're going to come into another bridge hold. If you want, you can use your hands as a pedestal again, or just use your muscles to lift those hips up. Keep that core tight. Push through the heels to get that feeling in the glutes. Whatever part you want to focus on is what you want to squeeze. And you can exhale, releasing from that stretch. Inhale up once more. and choose whatever you want to do. Use your hands as a kickstand, use your muscles. You can still feel your glutes being activated with your hands at the small of your back. The point of this posture is to really get those full, deep, diaphragmic breaths. And we can exhale from that. And we're just going to bring our knees to our chest, giving ourselves a nice big hug here. We can rotate side to side, giving our backs a nice massage. We can also come into our happy baby, grabbing those big toes. And we can release those toes and release one leg down to the mat. We're going to hug one leg to our chest. I have my right leg. Feel free to do some ankle circles here if you want to. Maybe just do 5 in each direction. And we're going to use our opposite arm to bring that leg to the opposite side. So I have my right knee to my chest and I'm using my left hand to bring my right knee to the left side. My right arm is extended out straight and both shoulders are on the mat, coming into a spinal twist. Stacking the hips and really breathing in this stretch. Notice, where does your breath go when you're twisting? And we can untwist. Go ahead and relax that knee back down to the mat. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, grab that opposite leg. Same thing, opposite side. And you can exhale, releasing from that stretch. So as we're getting ready for this final relaxation, you should be on the song Release. That is my song. So it's Miss Fluid Release. And that is basically our song to let us know to get into that final relaxation. So you can skip to that point if you want to and do whatever, whatever stretches you feel you still need. Go ahead and do those. Go ahead and do that. By the time release is over, that is when our final relaxation, our meditation songs will begin. I'm going to let you guys close out in your final relaxation. I want you to be able to take as much time as you want here. Feel free to look at the screen. I am out in the mountains, and as you see, the backdrop is just beautiful. So feel free to look at the screen. Feel free to close your eyes. Do whatever you want to do, whatever feels best for you. Please like, share, and comment. It really does help me out in this channel, and I'm really working to be able to bring some really great content for you guys. So if you could please do me a favor And just drop some mountains, or drop some sunset emojis, whatever you feel. Just drop something in the comments for me so I can get this engagement up. I thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope that you got exactly what you needed. I love y'all, and I will see you next time.